Queen A going buck wild on some games. Oh, hello, didn't see you there. In the middle of cleaning games from my eBay store. Check it out, all games free and fast shipping. Cleaned and tested. Generation Retro on eBay. What up, YouTube? Welcome to the show. Welcome to the weekly vlog that we call LSTR. The Brotherhood of Greatness.
10 toes in when we standing on business. I'm a big
Brotherhood for Greatness. Today on the show, happy Canadian Thanksgiving to everybody out there. Hopefully you're doing well. Today it's kind of I won't say a rushed video. I've been trying to record this video where I decide which consoles I keep in my collection and which I'm purging. I've tried recording it like twice, and it screwed up royally like twice. I really need new hardware. Lester calls me cheap. But I wanted to get this out before before Monday, or by the time you're watching this is when I wanted to get it out. So on today's show, we're going to talk about the state of the video game hoard, what's been coming and going into the collection. We talk about some of the bangers I had to list on eBay, all the feelings and emotions that entails from a hoarder trying to reset his life. We touch on the rules of the video game collection going forward, my plans, and getting old. But before we get into anything, thank you very much to everybody who commented in the comments below. I will refer to those comments as we go on in today's video. But yes, getting old. The whole reason I started this weekly vlog was because I was going through a midlife crisis, which I don't believe I'm going through. Just thinking deeply about life. But it's funny, I've been editing videos, like lately I've been watching, and I've noticed my hair is getting thinner. Anyone else watching that going through the same thing? I'm sorry if you're young and you're gonna go through it soon enough. Hopefully not, if you got good genetics. But my hair's been getting thinner. Like, especially if a light hits it just right, like you can see my scalp. And now I'm thinking, did I always have hair like that? Or not? The good thing about making a YouTube channel like this, I can look back 12 years from now, or from 12 years ago from now, and I can see the changes in myself. It's funny, I can see my weight fluctuating, but my hair, I think it's noticeably getting thinner. So in keeping it real with y'all, I'm gonna try minoxidil, like Rogaine knockoff. I'm not gonna buy the expensive stuff. But a part of me is like, why am I gonna, if that's just the natural evolution of Nathaniel, I've been bald before, just shave it off instead of just having the remnants of hair on my head. But I think it's worth trying, because once you don't take the medicine, you're just gonna lose your hair. It's like, this is the one chance you have to keep your hair, but you're gonna be doing a lifetime of this minoxidil, Rogaine knockoff. I might take some finasteride, which is like a hormone that helps signal or prevent the signal for hair loss. Fun fact, it also helps protect against prostate cancer. We got to talk about the real things here on the channel. Men keeping it real. But the week has been good. In the routine, my gym has been settling in pretty good. There was one comment last week. The only comment the guy made from the whole video was, I look forward to the shirt off video at the end of the year. And the reason I say it here is to keep myself accountable. I'm going to make one video at the end of the year where I take off my shirt, regardless of the stretch marks, regardless if I lost weight or not, regardless of the sagging skin or not. Maybe I'll be jacked. You have to be realistic. If you're not taking steroids, it's not going to look great, okay? But I made a commitment to do it. Positive pressure on myself. Publicly accountable to you guys. I might throw in a charity component to it, Like donations for Extra Life, like that ALS bucket challenge thing. Funny, man. Just all these signs of aging hit me at 40 years old. Like, right, boom. Not gradually, but just at 40, my hair is getting thinner. It's getting harder to lose weight. That's so funny. Anyways, I think that's enough about life. Let's get into it. The state of the video game hoard, the video game collection. As a lot of you guys know, I'm in the process of trying to purge and simplify my life from my video game collection. I just have way too much stuff. I showed a picture of it, I think, last week, but I'll show it to you here. I have over 3,000 titles, video games in my collection, and they just kind of spilt out of the game room here. And I just got to one point, a few vlogs ago, you'll see, why do I have all this stuff, right? Why do I have doubles, triplicate of some games? So I think last week or the week before, I made one big sale of, a key item from my collection. I'm going to credit this game till the end of all things. Kid Dracula on the Game Boy. That was a turning point for me. When I sold that game, I went through the emotions. I packaged it. I sent it off. And after that point, it just made it easier for me to list key items for my collection. And since then, I've kind of reflected on what kind of gamer am I? What do I really need out of this collection? And it forced me to kind of come up with these rules. And I said I was going to talk about these rules today, the laws of Kuya-Nate's video game collection. I'm still in the process of refining it right now, but I think it's important for all people to just come up with, to understand why they're doing things and to have a purpose for it, as opposed to just letting life control you, you control life, that kind of thing. So I want to talk about some of the rules I came up with now for my video game collection. Maybe I'll get some input from you guys and we can define it, you know, in stone, in tablets, hang it on here like the 10 commandments going forward, so that we don't fall back into the trap of just being consumed by all this stuff, extra stuff that we don't need, you know? So my first rule was that I was going to make a tier list, which I was trying to record before, of consoles that I keep, which consoles are going to be what I call God tier consoles. So video games or consoles I don't mind having doubles of, or triplicates of games. But I really have to love that console for me to like go buck wild on it. Kuya-Nate going buck wild on some games. It has to have high like nostalgic attachment to my life. Something that I believe would enrich my life going forward, something I want to keep on to and have that point of connection to the past, because I think that's one of the main reasons people collect nostalgic items like video games, t-shirts, sports cards, whatever. The Pogs are coming back. I think Retro Rick is manufacturing a market there, but we'll get into that. But these are points of connection to our past. So God tier consoles, I won't spoil it for you yet, right? Then there's the love tier, consoles that we love, but we're going to limit this shelf space for those items, for those games here. There's one, we call them the ones, one shelf collections. Consoles, maybe there's only like a handful of games that we care about, so we're still going to keep those consoles, and maybe just like 5 to 10 games for that console, which all fits on one shelf. That's the maximum allowable limit for that collection. And then we have the deuces, the games that we're going to say goodbye to, the console, sorry, we're going to purge from the collection. There's a lot of surprises there. I think you're going to be interested, especially if you're a buyer. What is Kuya-Nate going to be putting out into the world? Stay tuned to the rules. We'll talk more about it. Some big consoles, I think, are going to be hitting the market soon. They have to be in the tiers. They have to be the consoles I collect for. If they're not in those console categories, we don't buy it. We only buy it to resell it. We're not going to be buying it to keep it. Maybe buying it to just fund the collection going forward. Number 2, all items in the collection must be in a state that I can appreciate it. You know, restored, as authentic as possible. If I do something like a label swap, I'll keep the original labels and get like a replacement shell and a replacement label. But as original as possible, restored to an appreciable state. Serviced means batteries are changed, the contacts have been cleaned, any stains have been taken off, any condition issues have been, you know, dealt with as the best we can. Not perfect, just in a state that you can appreciate it on the shelf. The next rule. This one was the hardest rule for me to come up with. I had to reflect on me as the gamer, as the type of person I am. And because I believe in this so strongly, it's its own rule. No new epic RPGs in the collection. I still will have RPGs in my collection, but they have to be RPGs that I've played before, that I have some sort of connection to nostalgically, and something I'm going to be playing again most likely before I die. I want to play those on original hardware. So a lot of epic RPGs I'm going to be purging from my collection. What does that mean, Kuya-Nate? What can I buy from you? Kuya-Nate's always going to give you a good deal. But games like Legend of Zelda: A Link to the Past. Games like Final Fantasy II, my favorite, one of my top 3 games of all time. RPGs like, what's a more recent one? I don't think there's any recent RPGs that I like. I don't even like Final Fantasy VII. I said it, shots fired. But then you got games like this, right? Xenosaga 3. This is the factory sealed. I had every intention of playing this. I never played it. It's been probably a decade since I've owned it, since I bought it. Right, like look, got all these dot hack games. I bought this for $2. You believe that? $2 back in the day. Like dot hack games. This one, Xenosaga 1 and 2. Haven't even played it. I wanted to play it like back in the day. I wanted to be cool like my friend Gary and Ian and Lester. All those RPG losers. But I had to be honest. I had to be true to myself. Kuya-Nate, you're not an RPG fan. Right? I love arcade type pick up and play games. So going forward, unless it's in the God tier of consoles in my collection, I'm going to be purging a lot of these RPGs. Put them out of the collection, out to pasture, out to people who will actually appreciate them. See, when I make these rules, it makes it easier for me, less emotional for me to put items listed, you know, on for sale. Honestly, it really helps having objectives of why, knowing my why, having rules I have to live and die by. Again, these rules are not set in stone yet. They will be next week, okay? Now, we have more rules going forward that we're going to create, we're going to craft, we're going to fit it for our needs going forward, but I think that's all the rules I have so far for the Laws of Queen 8's video game collection. Really inspired by Robert Greene, laws. He calls them laws because they have to be universal truths, unbreakable truths, and ultimately lead to just living a better life, which is my goal for myself and everyone else out there. If you're rocking with me, I want you guys to be rocking out. So selling, I've been selling a few items on eBay. Most recently, I think I've been undervaluing my Wii Sports. I can't believe that. Like, I have a stack of them, maybe 4 or 5 of those games. They're like $20 bills stacked up over there. And I think that's even cheap. I put one up for like 25, sold right away. 30, sold right away. I'm going to put my next one at 35 and see if that sells right away. It's Wii Sports. Isn't that like the most popular game on the Wii? Tell me why that game is so valuable. Where I have a stack of Super Mario Duck Hunts that I can't get $5 for. You know, same thing, right? They're the most popular game for those consoles, but they're selling like hotcakes. Talking about what's sold, okay? One of the consoles that I'm purging from the collection, I've already decided now, is my Sega Master System. Mainly because A, it doesn't have a nostalgia connection to me. No one I knew had it growing up. I discovered it like after I started video game collecting. B, I haven't really played any of those games. Like, I tried a couple here and there, and the only game that was really appealing to me was Double Dragon, which I sold already because I loved it on the Nintendo, but on the Sega Master System, it's 2-player co-op. It looks unique, right? It's kind of like, almost looks like a ROM hack of the Nintendo version, but better. But when I actually played it, it's kind of muddy looking and didn't play as clean as it did on the Nintendo. If there was one lesson to be learned here from Queen 8, my experience in selling the video game Horde. It's a horde because I don't want to let it go. I'm like that Smog, the dragon. You know, you can't take one gold coin, I'll find your ass. Once you get started, it gets easier. The first one is the hardest, I think. But it exponentially gets easier the more you sell. And then you start seeing the kind of the funds coming in. I'm thinking about all the fun things I can do now. Oh yeah, talking about people who gave me comments about buying on Whatnot. It's becoming more and more appealing for me to sell on that platform. I think it'll be fun. The live aspect of it, you know, talking to people as we sell. It's very intimidating getting started though, because to have my first show and I've never really practiced on like their systems and I don't know how it works yet. So I'm going to be starting. I have a bunch of old Ninja Turtle comic books that I don't care too much about, so I'm going to start with that. And I'll talk about it here, my motivations for selling on Whatnot. Yes, I want to make some money, right? But that's not the thing I'm going to be chasing, especially going on Whatnot. I'm not going to be worrying too much about turning a profit, at least yet. You know, to me, it's an appealing platform that I want to get used to. So I want to learn how to sell on that, and you always have to pay for your education. So I might lose a couple bucks here and there, but if I'm having fun doing it, so be it, right? Starting everything at $1. I want to focus on having a fun experience for the buyer and for myself. That's going to be the main thing. Going out and looking for really, you know, good curated items to sell on there. Not just selling shelf padding, you know. I think going forward, I'm going to be selling my shelf padding on eBay, and like big key items I'm going to be putting on Whatnot. It's an objective to shoot for when I'm going out game hunting, right? I'm not just going to try to fill in holes in my collection. I'm going to try to find great deals for people who follow me on Whatnot and have a really nice curated show. I want to have like themes to the show, right? I'm going to be purging, a lot of RPGs from my collection. So I can envision myself having like a Whatnot RPG $1 start show. All epic, crazy good RPGs. Take advantage of me. I think it'll be fun. So I got to get over that hump and just do my first show. So my goal is before the end of October, I want to do my first show and have at least 2 shows in November. Thank you very much for everyone who left comments about selling on that platform. Really insightful. Kind of helped me. I watched a couple videos because a couple live shows. I need to learn the lingo. I watched a couple people's live shows like when they're selling stuff, and that really did help. I didn't buy anything. I still have $10 credit. Going forward, there's going to be a link below. I feel so weird, so dirty doing this, but I don't know why. There's a link below for my like affiliate link for Whatnot. But if you're interested in checking it out, please just make an account with my link in the comments below. Would appreciate it. Let me know if you do. Maybe I'll send you a free gift or something. Maybe give you a good deal on your first purchase on Kuya-Nate's. I think I call myself Kuya-Nate on Whatnot. So before we go, the 3 goals that I want to reiterate every video here on LSTR. Number 1, I will buy a Polaris slingshot by my 41st birthday. This sounds so weird to say, my 41st birthday. For people who don't know what that is, that's my midlife crisis motorcycle. It's kind of like an autocycle. To me, it reminds me of Mario Kart. I think that's kind of why it's appealing to me. June 2025, Polaris slingshot. We will be riding together, Thriftdweller. We're going to be cruising outside the city, hunting for items for our Whatnot store, for our shows, making killer shows for people who watch. Number 2, I'm going to make a shirtless video at the end of the year. What does that mean, Kuya-Nate? It means December 31st, 2024. I will make a video where I take off my shirt. Not saying I'm going to have abs. Not saying I'm going to be shredded. But giving myself that positive peer pressure to perform. To stay accountable. Not eat like shit. Because I know there's a deadline coming where I got to take off my shirt. I said I'm going to put a charity component into the whole thing. What if I jumped into snow without a shirt on? Or just in like swimming trunks? If people donate to our Extra Life. I think that'd be great, actually. I might do that. I will do that. Okay? Shirtless video at the end of the year in support of sick kids. In support of Manitoba Children's Hospital through Extra Life. It's coming. And number 3 was my last goal. Oh, it's to stay accountable with this vlog. Yes, today I know it was not a glamorous... You could probably hear my son screaming, playing PS4, PS5 in the background. But I wanted to get this out. Okay, I'm still going to do a pickup video. I got a lot of pickups. I'm going to shoot it now. I just don't think I'll edit it in time before this video needs to go up. So anyways, that's it from me, Kuya-Nate. Peace, take care of yourself and each other. Let me know in the comments below what's weighing heavy on your minds. What goals, what things you want to achieve. Let's get it. Welcome to LSTR, the Brotherhood for
10 toes in when we standing on business. I'm a big